forgot I did that one.
No intro.
Episode 22.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Back in the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we got?
Kings.
2 new movies.
What is on our screens?
Well, this week we got some different films.
Yeah.
So
What'd you recommend, Keegan?
I recommended Streamers, and you guys, I feel like, kind of just chose on a whim Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, that's kind of came about.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went. Yeah.
Um,
You want to do streamers first?
yeah, you were kind of saying you'd
I
rather
kinda,
do Streamers
it's
first.
Not that important, but I kind of just, that's how I move through them.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
The inspiration.
1983. This is my first Robert Altman
Robert
movie.
Altman, babe.
This is my first experience with him. And possibly my last. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm actually kidding. I'm kidding.
So
I'm a little kidding. I'm a little not, but I'm mostly not kidding.
So yeah, I didn't know about Altman for that long. You know, like I saw this movie the first time maybe within I want to say within the last year, at most like a year ago.
So you had seen it before this?
I had seen it.
Interesting to know.
And I watched this one.
Still put us through it.
It was
No,
your
I'm just
jam.
kidding. I'm kidding. I actually don't even feel that way about it. I really don't. I'm just being silly.
I watched this one and California Split
Okay.
almost back to back, and I think just because they were on Tubi, I was searching Altman. And then also I was kind of thinking that because we did Magnolia.
Yeah, and see that's the thing about Altman is I've never seen any of his films, but I knew about him because of PTA. You know, obviously he referenced him a lot, and I watched his movies with commentary and things like that. But yeah, this is my first actual.
So,
I'd known about Nashville and things like that.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen Nashville, and I feel like that's kind of the one McCabe or McCabe.
Yeah, that one
Miss
I also
Miller.
wanted to see. Yeah,
I ain't seen none of them.
I think
that
Three
one looks
Women,
dope.
3 Women. Like there's other ones that get talked about a lot more. Like
Yeah, I heard 3 Women.
this movie, I feel like another reason I kind of am still going down that, but like I just wanted to talk to someone about this movie. You know,
I appreciate that. I actually really do.
And I've asked several people like, oh, have you seen Streamers? And like nobody's seen it. One person, I'm not even sure he saw it, but his response was the play was better.
Oh,
So-
it was a play.
Yeah, it was a play.
Well,
It
it
was a
fucking
play.
felt like
That
one. I'll tell you
explains-
that.
that
I'll tell you
explains
that
it,
right
huh?
now. It felt like one. I actually wrote down
Yeah.
it felt like one.
Yeah, it does
I had
kind
no
of
idea.
when you know that it does put it in a little
Yeah,
more
100%.
context.
Yeah.
But-
I can visualize it.
But
Yeah.
I really just wanted to talk to someone about it. I remembered it being crazy, and I felt like, you know, Tropic Thunder, like it's a war movie. The only things I really knew about Tropic Thunder was that it's a war movie and it's a comedy, and
Yeah,
like the
well,
cast. So I was kind of thinking like maybe I'll go with the comedy route, but then I was like, no, let me go with the war movie, but
Yeah,
like
hit me.
a different type of war movie. So
Yeah.
that's how we got there.
I honestly appreciated it because I didn't know what to expect,
I had no idea.
and I gotta
Yeah.
say, it got me hooked. Honestly,
Yeah,
I'll say the same thing. Yeah, it escalated so much, and like it's like final third or final fourth. You know, that I was like, okay, let's go there. You know, let's take it there.
my boy Carlisle.
yeah. Like such a great portrayal
Yeah.
of like an unhinged, you know, person, and I think
Just
it does.
thrown into a barracks.
And it's like this type of movie. It kind of like, you know, it's 83. I think the plays
Maybe
76
late 70s,
or
yeah.
Man, knowing it was a play,
Yeah.
just
76,
really
and
brings it together.
it's all set. For some
At
reason
the height of the
I was thinking it was
conflict.
Korea, but it was Vietnam.
yeah,
But like
Vietnam.
the war doesn't really matter, you know. It's like they're just going to a
the
war.
two older guys referenced the fact that they already been in the war, which I
Yeah.
think would have been Korea at that
Yeah.
point, and then they were back for Vietnam because
Yeah.
it couldn't have been World War II because it was like too big of a time
gap.
difference.
Yeah, Rooney and the other guys.
Yeah, those two dudes, those
Kaz-
tragic souls,
Cause
Drunk
something I
souls.
forget.
Tragic drunk souls.
Yeah.
Cozy or something like that.
Koozie or Cozy.
Something like that. Yeah.
Anyways,
What'd you feel about it, Cage?
I really liked it. Watching it again this time, you know, it was kind of like one of the things that kind of stuck out to me this time, like one of Altman's techniques that I guess he kind of like pioneered, and I don't really see too many other people do it, but like in California Split, it's a lot more obvious, and this I noticed it a little bit more, but like where you would be like hearing a conversation, but then he would like
zoom in on another
layer.
person.
He would like cut to another
Someone
person,
hearing
or you
it.
would hear like other people talking over it. Like there was one point where like there were people in the office talking like those two guys
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
But like the main scene is actually in the barracks, but you can just like hear little pieces of what they're saying dispersed in. Like, and I kind of like that he would do kind of weird stuff like that.
You
Also,
saw
like-
that with the basketball scene too, I think.
Yeah, like
Also,
how they're
Yeah.
fighting outside about this thing, but then the main action going
I was gonna
on.
say sort of dissimilar, but also kind of the same thing as the two commanding officers or whatever we were just talking about doing the hide and seek game. You can see it going
Yeah.
on in the outside window because you can see him hiding on the stairs.
Yeah.
And,
Mhm.
you know,
And even like when
Such a play.
Carlisle
Yeah,
is
it's-
like first like
100%,
looking
yeah.
in there, like
Mm-hmm.
and like watching it this time, like I was kind of more just like the first time he comes in and he's just like, "Where's that black boy?" You know, like
Yeah.
like he has this presence of just like
dude's
this
trouble.
dude, anything could happen with this dude. You know, like
Mhm.
you don't know what's gonna happen, and when something super crazy does happen, it doesn't feel like corny or
He was drafted. He don't want to be here.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like I could see that like.
Mm-hmm.
you see him get
he-
drunk earlier too. And kind
Yeah.
of a little bit meltdown. He says that's the real Carlisle. Or
He's
something like
already
that, yeah.
cracking. Like he's
Yeah.
already cracked by the time he got
It's
there.
understandable. I don't want to fucking go to Vietnam. I'd rather
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
crash out.
And
on
I'm pretty
on
sure
the,
it was a lot of loose cannons like
yeah.
that. You know.
I didn't realize that Mitchell Lichtenstein.
Liechtenstein. No,
Yeah,
no,
his-
fucking some,
His dad is Roy Lichtenstein, or
who is that?
that's like the famous pop artist who did like The Woman,
Oh, okay.
like
Oh,
the
that
main,
sounds
the other
familiar.
main
Okay.
Yeah,
pop
that sounds
artist.
I have some,
familiar,
so
yeah.
I have some trivia about the actual guy though, about that actor Rich, the actor who played Rich. What did you say his name was? I got it. Liechtenstein.
Yeah,
Richie?
Mitchell.
He
Mitchell.
he
Richie.
went on to direct a movie that I
Oh,
had
I
heard
know that.
about called Teeth. From,
I
like,
saw
2000
that, or no, I've heard about that.
He
yeah,
directed that shit. It's about
Wow.
a lady who has like teeth in
Yeah.
her vagina.
Yeah.
That's
It's
how
kinda
they
like
start,
a
get
meme.
retribution on like rapists.
kind of like a
Damn.
meme movie.
Yeah, I'd heard it like it's like kind of a cult meme movie.
Wow. Is it
Yeah,
like
he
a-
went
like
and
a
directed
B
that in
movie?
2007.
That's
Damn,
crazy.
That's crazy.
I was
as
actually
fuck.
on the topic of his character though. I kind of I'd read the synopsis of the movie and a lot of it was about like tensions like
Before-
brew in a barracks due to like someone
before or after you watched it.
before I watched the movie, just like when I went to like
Oh,
view
like
it
the
on
little
my
description.
service. Yeah, it was
Okay.
just like, hey, like tensions brew in a barracks in Vietnam or something. While,
When-
like,
while someone comes
it's
out,
like-
yeah,
so
I
here's
saw
the
that.
thing.
Which I feel
I
like
thought there was going to be a
that's
mystery.
not really. I
no,
feel like
because I
that's
thought there was going to
so-
be a bit of a mystery who was gay, but then this dude Rich
He's just
pirouettes on the
obviously gay.
screen, and he's the gayest dude of his entire generation. I was like, I put like,
Well, but
I wonder who the gay guy is. Maybe it's the twink.
well, but maybe they mean Carlisle.
I
Maybe.
mean,
But even still, I feel like it's not him
I don't
coming
think
out.
they did. Yeah, I
as
think
much
they
as,
mostly meant Rich. That was just a shitty synopsis of the movie. That
Yeah.
It wasn't really like representative of what it really was.
Yeah,
But I'm
I
kind of on
agree.
board with you guys. Like, it kind of won me over. Like, at first I was like, man, this is because it really is a play. It's,
This is
Oh.
a
an hour and 50
drag.
minutes
I
of
didn't-
just talking.
I didn't
Right.
realize
Talking.
David Allen Greer's first movie.
I can
Absolutely.
understand that.
And
Shot
I can
in
see
Dallas,
that.
Texas.
Yeah,
Oh, was it
Dallas,
really?
Texas,
I had no idea.
in
Shot in 18 days.
18 days,
Damn.
which is crazy.
Well, I'd hope
mean,
so
one
because
location.
it's a play.
Yeah.
They do it in an hour and they do it one night.
They had one
usually.
building, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I knew it was a play. What I didn't know, but I kind of felt it when they all go out to get drinks, and it's like fade to black, reset stage,
Yeah.
back to them all coming in.
Yeah,
drunk
there's
and
certain things
ready
like in,
to fuck.
I haven't seen that many plays, but
Carlisle's ready to.
the way like everything, they're usually like in one location, and like
Yeah.
everything is like, oh, someone comes in or the phone rings, and like that's how the plot moves along, you know,
Yeah.
because you can't cut to somewhere
Yeah,
else.
something to
So.
signal their attention and move something in. It's like,
But I do like anytime, and there's a couple movies that I've seen where it's like all one location, one setting or
Yeah.
whatever,
Mhm.
and sometimes like even just like in real time. Like I always like stuff like that. That's
yeah, I
like
appreciate that.
yeah.
I also kind of like it's kind of like the presentation of like homosexuality is a little weird in this movie. I don't know if it's like
He's a little
well,
flaming.
he's a little too obvious.
Yeah.
In my
Don't
opinion.
ask, don't
like,
tell.
I don't think anybody would be in the army acting like that obviously.
The,
Gay, you
the
know?
guy that cut his
I
wrist,
didn't
was
really
he
understand
supposed to
that.
be
He
his
seemed-
boyfriend?
he seemed pretty gay to me.
But
Okay,
they kind of
okay.
I feel like they kind of address that like when Matthew Modine is like, you were cool, but now that everybody's gone, it's getting kind of weird.
oh,
like,
he like started to do that recently or something, be more comfortable.
yeah, like because they were in this sort of empty barracks, just the four of them.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like the thing that I kind of took away this time, kind of to what you're saying, was like how in denial David Allen Greer
Oh, I
and
love
Matthew
that. That's what I was going to
Modine
talk
were.
about. I was like, David Allen Greer said, "You just got caught up in a bad with a bad group. You just need to do some push-ups, man."
Yeah, that'll sort you out.
Yeah,
I swear.
yeah.
And he's so concerned about this shit.
And then
like,
even at the end,
at
where
the
he's just
end,
like, "What?
all
Why
this
didn't you
shit
just
just
tell
went
us?"
down.
Like,
Yeah.
like, bro, you really thought he wasn't gay? Like,
all this
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
just
Yeah.
went
Why
down,
didn't you just let
and
us
he's
know,
concerned
man?
about that.
he was
That
not in the
dude's dead,
closet at
dragged out,
all.
the blood still on the ground.
Yeah, man, why you just tell us,
They
man?
just had lied to that fucking dude with PTSD that his buddy
Yeah.
was not dead yet. He's
Rooney?
like, man, he's so
Yeah.
good. He survived everything.
I'll tell you what.
And that dude, I think, was in Deer
Loved
Hunter. I kept thinking he looked so
Oh,
familiar.
well, it's pretty deer huntery, this entire
I
experience.
love
man.
that guy.
Yeah, he was
Such
great.
a good story.
Yeah.
Was he singing it?
You know, what's weird about this
And then
movie
when
is
he sings it in that language, that was awesome.
I
love
thought this movie sucked for about, like, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just, well, I guess I thought it was maybe going to. Like, I didn't want it to keep doing what it was doing. And then it just kept going and escalating.
It was giving me the Z's for a little bit, but I don't know what happened, man.
Knowing it's a play, I mean, that really, like, it is a play structure. It really
Maybe
helps
when
to know-
Carlisle jumped in, maybe.
Carlisle's like,
Yeah,
when he
like,
comes back and
he's
really
such a wild
gets
card,
in,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, and like, just
Because
like
you're looking at him like, what the fuck is he finna do?
yeah, the way he's like inserting himself.
I
He's
also like
fucking up the
way
harmony.
the way they film him stabbing him, they kind of do make it a quick like you don't really know for sure for a second.
Yeah.
He like
Mhm.
cover himself
Did
with
you
like
slice
a
him or
red
did you
blanket.
stick him?
Yeah. I stuck him and I twisted it.
Let me see. I think I.
Play some shit.
I'm not sure. What did I? I think it's this one.
Just try him out.
I want my fucking nut! I want my nut, man! The fuck you so uptight for, huh?
You know, did you guys get a sense of like this movie was trying to say something about being trapped? Maybe like they're trapped in this one building, and I only connected to like the story that the Rooney guy told about sitting on the fucking spider hole and trapping
Yeah.
that one dude. You know what I mean?
He's like, I wish I just let him out, man. What if I
Yeah.
just let him out?
yeah, like
I'll
was it
let him out now.
Yeah.
maybe like this movie is saying something about being trapped in the closet or not?
Maybe, I don't know.
Trapped in the army, trapped in
I
the
do think
Kinds
it-
of trap. We're all trapped
Yeah.
in some way, my
Trapped,
man.
man.
We're all trapped, dude.
I do think it was saying something a lot about just like sexuality within the armed forces and
So
like
was-
yeah, 'cause
what
there's
was-
definitely
was
some
Carlisle-
prison sexuality
like,
kind of shit, like
and
being-
even just like the fact that just amongst guy friends there are relationships, like when he's talking to Matthew Modine, he's like, that story about your friend, like that's you, like
yeah.
like you're not all the way straight, like
Yeah.
look at the
I
way
mean-
you and David Allen Greer are hanging out.
Also,
like,
Matthew Modine's whole thing was he was willing to fake it to like get a bunch of money from people and
Yeah.
like run off. You know, that's already kind of
This
like
is Roy, is that his
yeah.
name? Or
I
Ray?
don't even
Roger was David Allen Greer.
Yeah.
Carlisle. Those are names I
Yeah.
remember.
So-
Billy, I think, was Matthew Modine's.
Okay, Billy, my
Billy.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So was Carlisle like coded as like something's going on with him in the closet or whatever?
I feel like his whole thing was kind of like the depiction of homosexuality in this movie is a little weird, and it is based on what it's 1983. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Dude's working with what he can. He's trying to do his best to kind of portray it. But like
Yeah.
Carlisle was like kind of more of like a prison fuck scenario. He's like, I'm trying to get my nut.
Yeah.
He's just trying to
exactly what
bust in somebody.
Well,
and
but
when he goes back to society, it will only be women.
he said. Yeah.
Kind of. I felt that was the
Wow.
kind of the basics, but it could be more to that than that. But I felt like
Well, I know it's
I mean,
more
I think-
to him, but
I
that
mean, I
aspect
could-
of
it's
it.
probably
Could've been some gay.
bisexual.
Yeah,
you know.
definitely bisexual.
I like that
That
explanation.
makes you
'cause-
bisexual. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely bi.
yeah. But I feel like you're also talking about it's Vietnam War era, so you have to like save that shit. You can't actively be that in front of
Yeah.
people. You know?
Oh, I did see one of the trivia pieces I made
Yeah,
a note of
but
was
he-
David Allen Greer. He has like a jacket on that's Castech Letterman. He actually went to that school.
Okay, what is Cass?
I think it was
Aha.
in maybe
California, South
I want
Tech.
to say
something?
Michigan. I don't know though.
What the fuck?
It said where he was
Isn't it
from.
crazy that his
Cool.
first role was
Just-
a drama movie?
Oh, and yeah.
It's a hell of a thing to jump
And then
into.
I was gonna say Matthew Modine, of course, was in Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah,
as well-
absolutely.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, for sure.
That was
Mhm.
'87.
He was
so
also famously he's in Stranger Things. So it's like his big recent thing, and it's a popular show. I haven't seen.
Oh,
it,
he's
but it was
a
what he's-
resurgence like Winona Ryder and.
He's similar, yeah. He
I
pops
did-
up. He looks very similar with a bunch of gray hair.
I did see a cool clip of him talking about Altman, and it was kind of funny because, like, right after that, I saw a clip. It's not that much. Like, the Wikipedia on this movie is kind of sparse. I guess maybe even the play, like, it wasn't that much more. But I saw this clip of Matthew Modine talking about being directed by Altman and how he had like this big monologue coming up and he was kind of worried about it, and he was trying to like talk to Altman about it, and he kept putting it off and like till like literally it was happening, you know?
Yeah.
And afterwards he could Altman could see that he was upset, and he kind of like, to comfort him, he was like, you know, if I thought that I could do it better than you, I would be in the movie. I would be acting, you know? Like, I'm trusting you.
That's sweet.
You know, so he was like, that made a
'Cause
big...
I don't know Altman, so I don't know how he is as like a guy on set. You know, it's something you eventually learn about directors. Like, how do they treat people, or how are they? You know, how is their process? So was he like a nice guy? He was
Was
kind
he
of
a
chill. I've never
Kubrick?
He's
seen
sort of known as
interviews or anything of him.
he's sort of known as like a big pothead, you know.
Oh, cool.
Like even in that when I was watching that Charlie Rose thing,
I like that.
one thing he said was and I don't know if PTA is like known for doing amphetamines or whatever, but he's like
That's
Altman
exactly what I said.
Altman had weed, I have amphetamines.
Oh, really?
I was like, that's kind of weird.
The
but,
stuff I've seen of PTA, he's definitely more amphetamine-y than like weedy.
okay.
Do you know about him? Do you know about Altman's last film, Prairie Home Companion?
I don't.
I've heard of it, but no.
Okay, so I just add some trivia to this since we're talking about PTA. I think in 2006, Altman's last film was Prairie Home Companion. Because of his health issues,
Yeah, you told me something about this.
PTA stepped in to
Like
be like a
assist?
co-director in case he died for like the insurance company. So I thought that was pretty interesting
Wow.
to share. You know, I've never seen that
Yeah.
film. It's
Me
not his
neither.
most well-received movie
I was-
either necessarily.
I did see The Long Goodbye too. That was
Is that Altman?
Yeah, that is.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
And
that
then
movie's on my list, but I didn't know it was
California
Altman.
Split is also the same guy who's in Long Goodbye, Elliot Gould, who's
Okay,
really
yeah.
I love
okay,
Elliot
okay,
Gould.
yeah.
He's
I
awesome.
recognize him just from stuff talking about
Yeah.
The Long Goodbye and like the posters of it and
Yeah.
things like that.
But yeah, if we had to give it a score, I mean, who wants to go first?
Man, I'll go first. It was a fucking roller coaster, man. I mean, this score fluctuated and moved all around. I want to leave some space for like. That's always a tricky thing with these things, like where.
Wrong
Man,
clip.
with the fur. Was that what that
I
was?
hit it again, yeah.
That's crazy about that, man. That's so
Fucking
fun.
nut! I want my nut, man! What the fuck you so uptight for, huh?
Shit, I don't
Is
know.
that the only one?
Yeah, that's the only one. I was in a rush.
So I like this movie, but I'm gonna give it a 78.
Okay.
I just
Wow.
think it is a lot to ask of somebody. I remember just first when I looked into it just to see kind of vaguely what it was. I remember seeing some sort of blurb about like it like challenging viewers to like view it or something. I can kind of see that, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of dudes fucking freaking out, and the acting and everything in the lines are just something kind of off-putting about it all. But it all kind of adds up in the end, you know.
Yeah.
It is a messed up situation. So that's what I'm gonna do. You
I
know,
think if you like play type like Fences
dude,
or
it's definitely a play that
you
it
know,
helps so
Yeah.
much knowing that. You know,
I
it's-
even think if you like you said, movies with one setting or one room or something, I
Mhm.
think you would get something out of this.
some movies also just benefit. Like if your friend tells you to view it, sometimes it helps for them to be like, "Hey man, just so you know, it's
It's
you
a
know,
sleeper.
It's gonna
It
be
takes a
little bit- It's
minute.
a dialogue based film. It's
Yeah.
all script. Just know that it's dudes talking. You know, it's how it is. It's
You gotta
okay.
invest in
I
these
don't like
characters.
to like. I just watched it.
It
you
is
know,
a tough
'cause,
thing to also, but I guess that's based on who you
Yeah.
knowing the people you're
Like
doing
me,
it
if
with.
someone says it's good, I'm
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You told us to watch it. We watch it, but
Yeah.
you can't always do that for a lot of people. Say, dude,
unless you have a movie show with your friends.
At which point you gotta fucking do what you're told.
I think I'd give it more of a, for myself, I give it about like a 72.
Yeah, okay,
72,
okay.
73. This is something that I would recommend to someone. I really would, because I think it's a good time capsule movie, or maybe like, you know, back in Don't Ask, Don't Tell. and
Yeah.
I'm watching this shit and I'm like, man, there's some real progressive motherfuckers in there, because I'm like, how is he getting away with this shit in 83?
Yeah, I will say that was a little bit.
in Vietnam era. you know?
Well, the movie itself is taking place in the
Right,
early
right.
70s, late 60s. You know,
Right.
Vietnam's a long time. So to me, I will say that Rich is like he seemed too gay.
Yeah,
at times.
yeah.
I just didn't know you could be that gay, man. I mean, he was pirouetting around like that dude. Like,
Well, maybe just with them just being 4 guys in there, and you got David Allen
Yeah.
Gray's character. He's not. He's more of a open-minded person for the time.
Yeah.
they all kind of
know?
were in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. I
Yeah.
mean, even the ones who were like aggressive were like,
Everybody except Carlisle.
yeah, but even Carlisle
Yeah.
was trying to fuck him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
he was
mean,
on some
in a
prison
way, he
shit.
was like, yeah.
It's like these guys is just animals in a zoo.
But that
type
is
shit.
also a thing. They took these dudes against their choice and,
And
put
then,
them in
like,
the barracks and told
the
them to wait
crazy
to go
thing is,
kill
like-
Asian people, you know?
When they come in and like David Allen Greer has to put his arms up, like they think it's him.
Man, that fucking took me out.
That was
bro.
fucked
Like,
up,
oh my
man. Yeah,
gosh.
they're immediately... the racism was crazy.
It took
Yeah.
several times of Charlie, or what name saying like
Richie.
Richie. He's
Yeah.
saying,
yeah, he didn't do it, man.
He's
He's
like,
like-
he didn't do it.
He's like he
Hey,
said
just so you know,
he
he
said
didn't do it.
he said an in. He's like I did not say
I
that.
didn't say that. They finally dragged Carlisle in. He was like,
Yeah.
"See, I told you."
And he was just so good at playing a crazy
Also,
guy.
I
Like,
just want to point
Michael
out...
Wright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really good. I want to point out there was also that character who was like asleep in the bunk the whole movie.
Yeah, that
under
was
the covers. They
hilarious.
kept cut back. I was like, fuck, I forgot about that guy's just chilling. He
Yeah.
never gets any resolution.
used to-
He's just
it
he
would
doesn't
cut to
chime
him.
in at any point.
No, he doesn't.
He's like, what the fuck's going on in here?
Or those guys playing cards.
Yeah, the
yeah,
poker
What the
stick.
fuck happened to them?
They came and went.
Like, hey, shit.
But yeah, you said 72.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not mad at either score.
Bet not.
Be mad.
I'm gonna go. You said 78. I feel like that's like right around there. Yeah, like
It's
I
a good
said, I
place to
like
be,
I like
man.
California Split.
It's a good place to be.
But I feel like I've kind of said I don't really feel like I'm a huge war movie guy. Like this is up there for me with war movies because it's different. It's not even really fair to call it a war
They
movie
haven't even
because
made
it's
it
not
war
giving
yet.
you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
any of that stuff.
It's
Mhm.
very different.
But like
Mhm.
I don't even know like how do you classify it like a play type movie?
Well,
Just a
I also
period
I
drama.
put that reminded me of like a really twisted episode of MASH, and then I realized
He
that's
directed
based on
MASH.
well, it's based on a movie
He
that
directed
he
MASH.
directed. Then there's the TV
Yeah.
show, which I
Well,
saw
yeah.
a lot of as a
I
kid.
did
just 'cause
see
my
MASH.
mom would like put it on TV
Elliot-
Land or whatever.
Elliot Gould was in MASH too.
The show or the movie?
The movie.
Oh, see, I haven't seen the
And
movie,
then-
but I've seen the show.
Damn.
That was
It's
kind of all.
confusing.
It wasn't. I thought it was okay. It had a. I want to say Donald Sutherland,
Oh no, it's
but
doing long,
maybe I'm
Law and
thinking.
Order.
I want to say it was Donald Sutherland that was also in that. But yeah, I thought it was okay. I like that song.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
The Suicide is Painless. That's a cool song, and his son wrote that.
Wait, what song? The song for the movie?
The MASH movie.
Or is
yeah.
that also the?
I don't know if it's
But
the
here's
show.
the thing: I was trying to do the one from the show, and then I realized I was doing fucking like Law and Order, and so I had to bail out on it.
Wow.
So I have no idea what I was doing.
Anyways, I'll go 78.
Yeah, that's
That
how
sounds
it plays.
good.
Yeah.
All right, next movie.
I want my fucking nut! I want my nut, man!
Carlisle,
What the
man.
fuck you so uptight for, huh?
What
Tropic
about, man?
He had
Thunder.
multiple knives too.
Oh
yeah, he did. Ain't that
But
a bitch?
I think the one with the handle was that one of the
I think
guys.
he stole
Yeah,
it.
they
Yeah.
said like that's so and so's knife. Where
Yeah.
is it? And that made me think he killed him. and
Roy
they show
threw it
back
down.
up.
Roy
Yeah.
threw it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
nut. Yeah, boy.
And so Keegan, you hadn't seen this.
Yeah.
You said
Kurt,
you didn't
you
see
had,
it, and
I
that's
had.
why I recommended it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Cool.
You never saw it.
Never saw it.
What'd you think about it?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Tell us.
Do you
First
like
of all,
do you
okay.
like comedies like this, man?
What-
Like real talk. Like, do you
I-
enjoy watching shit like this? I just want to know. Like, do you like? like, can you like?
Mainstream.
I can't.
Yeah.
I enjoyed quite a few things about it.
Okay.
I didn't enjoy everything about it. You know, like I would say my favorite comedy is maybe like a Freddy Got Fingered. You know,
Okay.
so
What the
it's like
That's
I
so
like
hard to like.
I like absurdist.
I also love
like,
that too, but it's,
obscure. You know, like
yeah, I get it. I get it.
you know, I like Curb. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you know, like the funny.
This is
that-
definitely more mainstream. This is along
Yeah.
lines of. It's a little more testy, but it's along lines of Step Brothers,
Yeah.
Anchorman.
Which-
definitely in.
which
I'm
I
probably saying this
usually-
was the last movie of its kind. I mean, honestly.
I do
don't
think,
think
like-
anybody's gonna play around with this.
I was
too
thinking
much.
like that was kind of the main thing I was kind of like interested to see, like, because I did know about the Robert Downey Jr.
Of course, yeah, it's hard to.
That's like the main legacy of the movie. I feel like.
Is that a performance?
Yeah.
It stands out more than anything.
Did you know who
it
he
is what it
based
is.
that character on?
Yeah, you guys, I think we're kind of talking about that.
Yeah. Curtis had brought
before.
that up. Like,
And-
can you expand on that, or do you want to say the?
Well, it's Terrence Howard for anybody that didn't
Yeah.
know, and right
Which
now. Everyone
the Joe
knows.
Rogan podcast really like.
Yeah, he's a bit of a
illuminated
nut
that.
right now. He's
Yeah.
going around talking about he invented a new quantum physics or some
A
shit.
new math. or
But
whatever.
apparently on the set of Iron Man, he was this person.
Yeah.
And there's some behind the scenes footage.
You showed me that part. I especially was
Yeah.
like, okay, I see it. I
You
see
saw that
it. I see
behind the
with
scenes
Terrence,
footage
Yeah.
of
The
him in that bathtub.
Yeah.
Honestly, shout out to this movie. Special features wise, this movie is
Mhm.
excellent. Those like deleted scenes, whatever that was, that bonus feature, like Reign of Madness, whatever they call
Yeah.
it.
Did you think that was that Bill Hader narrating it? I felt like that was Bill Hader trying to sound like Werner Herzog.
I can't tell. I thought it was. I thought it might have been Justin Theroux, who's like the co-writer or whatever.
writer,
He's barely
okay.
in the movie, but he has kind of a weird career for himself.
Okay.
I was assuming it's that because I thought he was supposed to be that Herzog style.
Okay.
But Bill Hader can specifically do a Herzog,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure.
And he's like the movie, like
Yeah.
he's always commenting on movies and stuff. But I was actually going to say, like, you know, the first scene, it's kind of like with comedies, you kind of have to like let yourself, you know what I mean? You have to like surrender to it, I guess,
Yeah,
to
it's not
some
going to
extent
be
or
like,
whatever.
you have to understand that it's not like a traditional, sometimes cinematic setup. You know, it's like
Yeah.
a joke build up instead.
But the first scene that actually got me was like when I guess they're like in the woods and Jay Baruchel's like looking at the map or whatever, and Robert Downey Jr. kind of gets mad, but then he like cracks a smile. Do you know the scene I'm talking about? Oh my god,
It's crazy. That was the first laugh.
it was so like I don't know if he.
Bummed
It almost
until
looked
that
like he
point.
broke character.
Oh,
That's
really?
why, because
He
it's
might
like
have.
it's like I forget exactly what he says, but he goes from like mad to like smiling for a second to confused, and it's just like so perfect, you know.
How'd you feel about his performance in general, Robert Downey Jr.?
RDJ. Lazarus.
Kirk Lazarus.
I thought it was fine, you know. I do feel a little weird like
Hate.
Yeah,
about
hate,
the
hate.
about the blackface thing. Like, was that Brandon T. Jackson?
Yes.
Okay, he was good, but like I felt like the fact that he sort of like came at him about it was kind of how they justified it. That was kind of like
Having a black person present to be like, hey,
Yeah,
this ain't
like-
right, man.
I felt that was
I
kind of one,
think it helped it,
but
but
I don't think it was.
I don't think that was the point.
And like you said, this is kind of like the last time. Like, I do think like since this, you haven't really seen like blackface in a movie on this scale.
I mean,
like,
before you barely saw it either, really.
I mean,
if
in
you
the
think about
'90s,
yeah.
it kind of had its, but
Mhm.
I think like in 2008, like it was
Yeah.
sort of known as like, oh, it's still edgy, but like I don't remember people really like coming out like saying like, oh, Tropic Thunder, like it should be, you know. So
I don't
I
know,
don't remember
like,
too many people doing that.
Yeah, and I feel like it had
know.
like some vocal like supporters that kind of helped
Mhm.
sway the opinion on it. Also, it's a tricky thing because it's like
It's
it is
more of a-
blackface, but it's also
he's method
It's
a
acting.
more of a
guy who
commentary
is
on-
doing blackface in a fictional environment. So it's kind
Mhm.
of tricky. So it's like, how offended should you be by that versus like Edward Norton in like American History X being like blatantly racist or whatever.
It's
like,
more of a satire. as
satire
well.
on like,
I think
the
it's like-
extremities of method acting. you
Well,
know?
I think it's a little like the American History X thing. It's like that's a serious movie,
portrayal
you know.
of,
So it's like
an
Yeah.
actual thing that
yeah,
exists,
something
and
that happens, and it's like he doesn't.
it also
he
gets,
doesn't
like,
win,
dealt with,
you know
like,
what I mean?
morally,
Like,
you know,
so
he-
it's like versus something that
he's
kind
a good
of
guy by the end of that movie.
like you know, we watch Bamboozled. I've told you it's pretty good.
yeah.
Mhm.
A Spike Lee joint, but it does kind of make you think about like the history of blackface and
Yeah.
like
I can
like
see
I'm
that.
not gonna say like, oh, it can't ever be funny, but it's sort of like I was kind of interested to see like how do they make it funny and how do they make it quote unquote okay,
Mhm.
and then like just like the scenes where like Brandon T. Jackson's character is kind of or Al Pacino, which was
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Alpa Chino.
Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Chino.
Booty
Uh,
sweat and busting up bar.
But yeah, like the scenes where he's kind of like giving him guff. I was like, oh, so that's how they're gonna do it.
Like I
I
said,
don't
the
know.
what do you mean,
man.
we people? You
Yeah,
us,
like
you
I
know,
was like,
it's
that's not enough.
I, honestly, man, I saw this in the theater when it came out. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that line killed.
Which line?
What do you mean, we people? That
Oh,
little
okay,
exchange.
okay, yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and
it's
I
good.
don't think it's that like
Yeah,
the
but
blackface thing. I don't know if it's that deep, man. I think it's like
I don't think it's that deep. But it was just something I was kind of thinking
Yeah.
about going into the movie.
because I
Like,
felt when I watched it, I was like, okay, this is more of a commentary on the like
I
people
definitely
method acting.
I
you
don't
know
think
what I mean?
that Robert Downey Jr. or Ben Stiller is like racist or anything,
Oh,
but it's
no,
like,
no, we ain't saying
but
that.
at the same time, like I don't think they would
Go for
do a
it
character
now.
like that.
Neither
now.
one of
No,
them.
no.
Yeah.
And
Not
Ben,
only
Ben
would
Stiller
they
came out and
couldn't,
said
like,
that. Ben
yeah.
Stiller came out in an interview and was like, we couldn't do Tropic Thunder now.
It's kind of similar to The Office in some ways with Michael Scott. You know, some of those like jokes they landed with him.
Like that first
more,
season?
more not even the first season, because I think the first season's an exact adaptation. Of
There's
the
like
first
the actual
season,
like
UK
the,
one.
the
But, like,
racist episode.
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah. The like
The one with
Where's
prison
with Ke-
Scott or whatever, you know, and all
Yeah.
kinds of, or the episode where they're
With
like worried
Kelly.
about the black character
Yeah.
who's like got hired on,
Mhm.
you know. But they handled it a little bit more nuanced and I guess satirically than some of this stuff
Yeah.
does in some ways. But
And I'm a fan of like edgy humor, which it feels funny to have to like say that,
Sick.
but
edgy humor.
yeah. But I don't know. Like, I did like the movie. I didn't know it was actually like a movie about them making a movie. You know,
Movie about movies.
Yeah, I maybe would have like chosen something else. 'cause
How'd you
there's-
feel when that director blew up?
I actually like Steve Coogan.
Yeah,
I think
me
he's
too. I
really
love
funny.
him. Yeah, he's fucking hilarious.
I always liked him, so I was kind of.
Alan Partridge.
I was a little he's in this one, The Trip or whatever.
Yeah, I love The Trip.
And-
There's multiple. There's like
yeah.
3 of those now. You know that?
No, I didn't
They
know
tripped
that,
to
but-
Italy, they tripped to
yeah.
Spain. They kept
I
that
like
going.
his little impressions and stuff.
Yeah,
He's-
Hamlet 2 is a really funny one if you ever want to see some weird Steve Coogan.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do want to see that.
But yeah, I thought it was. What?
What about
Oh, I was gonna say I didn't realize that was Tom Cruise until like an hour in.
Oh, really?
Good,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that's a
That
crazy
was-
performance.
that
He has
was pretty-
prosthetic like knuckles and hands.
Yeah,
too.
I was
There's
like,
weird shit going
big
on.
This
ass
guy with
hands.
big
Yeah.
hands, hairy
Yeah.
arms.
He has like fake everything. That was his idea.
But then it's like his face is still.
Yeah.
I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now, when I saw it in the theater, nobody fucking knew until the end, and it blew everybody's
I
mind.
think it was kept pretty secret. Plus, like, how are you even going to get that info, like, in 2007 or whatever?
No,
Like,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
No one fucking knew at all.
yeah.
They did that thing that you hate when everybody claps and cheers at
And
the end of a movie.
Danny McBride. Who was the dude that was
Yeah, Danny
Four Leaf?
McBride.
Who was that guy?
Oh, what's his name?
That old fella
God, fuck.
with the
I can't
fake
think of his name.
hooks.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I can't think of his
You know what it
name.
did remind me
think
of
his
though
name.
is and it's just like I almost felt like it's too many stars. You know, like
It was definitely like an
Kinda
ensemble
with that-
cast.
It was
like,
a good
kinda
ensemble
relentless.
was
cast.
it? This is the end.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
had,
yeah.
it had a lot of the same people, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think comedies necessarily benefit from like a bunch of
This
stars.
was definitely like
that,
a blending
you know,
of like taking a comedy and making it like a blockbuster
Yeah.
feature and having all these people in it.
Jack Black was cool. You know, I was thinking it would have been funny if Robert Downey Jr. was like the drug addicted one. You know, more-
Probably is actually
more true
I
to
mean,
life.
Yeah,
like,
Jack Black was
like
fucking
he, like-
nuts.
you know, famously struggled with that in the past.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. It's a story.
I want
my Yeah.
jelly beans.
But yeah, I mean, it's good. It's got some moments that are like,
I feel like you're over there gritting your teeth at the good, man. That's good.
I kind of wanted to watch what was it called? Satan's Alley
Yeah.
with that fake trailer with Tobey Maguire and Robert Downey
Oh,
Jr. the gay.
that was cool.
Yeah,
like, it was
that.
it had
Starting
a lot
out
of,
with those kind of like Grindhouse.
Yeah.
Started out with those fake trailers.
it had a lot of good. Like,
Dun-dun-dun.
no, I was gonna say like when Ben Stiller's in the woods or whatever, and he's got like the little iPod.
Yeah, yeah.
That show with the green monster that looked kind of rad.
I like the Simple Jack.
Yeah, Simple Jack.
Yeah, like
At the
Like, some
time,
of
That's
that
a joke
was-
about like I Am Sam and shit.
Yeah.
You
know,
never
Sean
go full
Penn doing that
retard.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that became like a phenomenon. You never
yeah,
go
It
full
did, yeah.
retard.
Oh my gosh, I heard so many people say that it was
Mhm.
it was annoying.
That's why you hate the
that.
movie.
No.
Yeah. That's how I felt about Anchorman for a long time. But like in my like older age, just mid 30s, whatever. Like I've come back around a lot of this shit. I've like watched Dodgeball, Step
Or,
Brothers,
Ricky Bobby.
Zoolander,
Yeah.
all that shit. Talladega Nights.
I
as,
felt
an
like
adult
that-
kind of really
a
enjoyed
lot
them
of
more
that
than I used to.
Will Ferrell brand.
Yeah.
He kind of ruled that.
He grew
era.
on me. It grew on me.
I will
I
say-
didn't like
Wasn't-
Step Brothers
When-
the first
I
time.
want to give props to this
To be
movie. When I
honest.
first watched it, I was into like I didn't really have internet or anything, so I was like milking DVDs for everything they were worth. So watching all the special features, and this has a commentary that has Robert Downey Jr. in character until the very end. And he says in the movie he doesn't break character to the DVD commentary, and he actually like keeps it up. He's like Kirk Lazarus through and through, and
Wow.
like various characters in the commentary.
Wow.
Keeps it going. It's pretty fun. Like, it's cool.
I want to listen to that.
Yeah, it's worth doing. Talladega Nights has a similar one actually.
He's Kirk Lazarus. He's got his Australian
It's kind of
accent.
confusing. He moves through all three versions of like himself, like through it. He turns into Robert Downey Jr. by the very end, but he's all three. He's like Kirk Lazarus and like his Tropic Thunder character. It's kind of confusing actually.
Try to do it, brother, like that.
I was gonna say, it did have some scenes that made me want to rewatch Heavyweights, which I was telling you about
Oh,
recently.
yeah, you were
Heavyweights
talking
goes
about
hard.
Well, that specifically feels more like a prequel to Dodgeball. You gotta. I mean, I don't know if I'm recommending you watch Dodgeball, but Ben Stiller's character in Dodgeball is like very
Okay.
Heavyweights to the point of like there's kind of like people feel like it's sort of his
Um,
character's future.
But I was gonna also say, like, I like how it was referencing all the other war movies, like.
There's some Platoon in there of him getting
Yeah.
like peppered with the bullets and kind of like.
Well, I didn't even realize that because I haven't seen it, but I know, like, if the machine breaks down, we break down. or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, like the Deer Hunter references, like when he doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
Did you catch
With
that?
the
He's
kid.
like,
I haven't seen Deer Hunter since I was like
okay.
a child.
I watched it
somehow. I
kinda
don't know how that works.
recently.
I like the double VHS
for
as
the
a
first
kid.
time, and it's all about like Christopher
Sounds weird,
Walken and
but-
Robert De Niro, but
Yeah.
he goes back
Getting
to like
Stockholm Syndrome.
take
The Russian
Christopher
roulette
Walken
and
back, and
shit.
he's like all into Russian roulette,
Yeah.
and even like
Oh, okay.
the area they were in, it even looked like that. It's all like these bamboo.
Yeah, there's definitely some inspirations of that, like
And I-
Vietnam War era movies.
And I think like even just like the whole movie, I'm sure you know about Apocalypse Now.
of course, yeah,
course.
You've heard of Heart of Darkness?
yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I love that.
So I
Almost like a more than Apocalypse Now in some
yeah,
ways.
Yeah, I read that.
it's been a long time since I've seen. Well, not the book, but there's a documentary about the making
Oh,
of.
I've seen that then. Yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen
about
yeah, it's by
Apocalypse Now.
Francis Ford Coppola's
His daughter.
wife.
His daughter
No,
or
it's
the
his,
wife?
no, it's his wife's on. Sophia's. I don't know if she's not born yet, but she is. She's super
Oh.
crazy young. His wife is filming the entire movie,
Oh, okay.
and they built a Hard Darkness documentary
So,
on
yeah.
her footage.
I haven't seen that, but I hear it's like one of the great documentaries on filmmaking.
It's just kind of like a
Mhm.
raw, straightforward footage
Yeah.
of this guy. But it's
Lawrence
also a movie that
Fishburne.
has a ton of problems, kind of like Tropic Thunder. Like
Yeah,
there's
so
constant
I
issues.
was
of them
thinking
getting
that-
helicopters from like 4 different army forces and shit, and everything falling apart.
I was thinking it was probably inspired by
yeah,
that.
definitely.
Let's make it real.
It's Platoon. It's all those movies. Like
Yeah.
there's a little bit of references here and there. It's like a reference-based movie. It's like a lot of these are like people winking at the
But
camera.
I
going,
I think that's kind of cool. Like I'm sure
It's a spoof
maybe
movie in some
a lot
ways.
of the people
a
who've
really
seen,
good
like,
one, honestly.
but like a lot of the people watching it probably haven't even don't know like Deer Hunter or Heart of
No,
Darkness or
No.
you know like it's
They-
kind of cool that you can pack all these like sort of cinematic references into something.
Yeah.
They
that
might know Platoon.
it's just gonna be
Platoon a little bit.
a
Yeah.
popcorn movie for most
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to point out it's something I really liked in the movie. I don't know why, but when like Ben Stiller like first like opens fire on like the woods when they're in like the real situation, he has his like hand out and he's like shooting like M60. I realize he's shooting it like he thinks he has one of those guns that has like the belt of ammo going across his hand.
Yeah,
He's doing
yeah.
that even though it's not that kind of gun.
he's
he's
like,
like, acting.
yeah, I
like he's
saw that.
holding the fucking. It's so stupid. I don't know why I hadn't noticed.
His
that
hands were
before.
empty.
Yeah.
And
Was
I
that
love
kinda
the
gun.
I love the guys, the Vietnamese guys that they first encountered with.
Yeah.
He was like, "This guy's crazy as shit."
Yeah.
He's like licking the dude's like.
He's
neck
licking the
meat.
director's
Yeah.
neck
Yeah.
meat.
Steve
Ugh.
Coogan's severed head.
Oh god damn! I love Jack Black in this too.
Yeah, he was
Jelly
funny.
beans.
He was funny.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
that's ridiculous. What would you give it, Keys, man? Take it,
Mm,
baby.
Rate it.
I hate 42.
Nah, I won't go that
37.
low. I won't go that low.
A swift 19.
I'm gonna go 69.
Hey.
Oh, I did get some clips. before
Yeah, let's
we-
hear him. Let's hear him. Let's hear him.
We kind of previewed.
Back it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh!
Yeah, that was it.
All right.
You ain't get booty sweat?
Nah, I was in a rush, but
Man.
we'll have more clips next
You know,
episode.
we'll have some coming up for y'all.
Well, so like I said, I saw this in the theater, man. So my experience may be a little different, man. It was fucking toe up in that 2007, man. It was great. I think this is like one of the last movies of its kind. You know, similar to like a Hangover 1, that era. You know
Judd
what I mean?
Apatow type.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna
Even
give
though
it
his are not like this epic usually, but yeah.
right. In the realm of comedy, though, I'm gonna get this man. You guys gotta be mad at me.
No, do what you gotta do, man.
I gotta give it an 86, man.
Okay, that's all right.
I gotta get mad at
gotta
88,
do-
man.
Oh,
88 man.
It's a little high, but that's cool.
It evolves.
Anyway, 86.
Okay.
86
All
is
right.
fine.
Damn.
What you
Okay.
thinking, Mike?
Shit, man.
Burst my bubble.
I'm kind of coming. No, I'm coming from it like in a similar place. I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw it on like DVD. Pretty soon after, we rented it or borrowed it from a friend or something. I was still in high school, and I thought it was some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. Now, in 2025, I think it's like some of the funniest shit I've ever seen, but it's
Mhm.
still pretty funny. I'm not quite an 88. But I'm not quite as low as you either, Keegan.
That's okay.
And I don't really know where that puts me.
A
So I
good
think I'm gonna
place.
give it a. I'm gonna give this 78 actually.
That's
'Cause
my
there
man.
are comedies I think are a lot funnier and kind of like hold their weight as
It's
a movie a little bit
equally-
more. That I'm gonna put
It's
some space
equally
in
as
there
good as
for.
Streamers. I think that was 78.
Mm.
You know what? Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it fucking is, dude.
Cool.
It is.
All right.
Equally good, but
I
different.
didn't remember I scored that shit.
I
But
think-
yeah,
I
it
think
is.
I'm pretty sure.
I respect it.
mean,
No, I believe you.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think I matched your score. I've
Hey.
been matching scores here
Yeah,
lately.
you
Yeah,
have.
a little bit of copycat.
Little bandwagoner over there.
Nothing
boy.
wrong with that.
Yeah, man.
There's only 100 potential scores.
Yeah, that's true. We had some good movies
Sorry,
this
adding
week.
some decimals.
Yeah.
We had some good movies
Yeah, it was
this
an
week, man.
interesting
Yeah.
combination.
I like
Until
that a lot.
next week.
Streamers definitely
For
surprised me.
episode 23.
Oh, it's 23?
The next one.
Want my fucking nut!
Damn it!
I want my nut, man! The fuck you so uptight for, huh?